All right, we are live. I am completely 100% set up today. I ain't did a live in like a week or two. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little. We're gonna talk a lot about them firing Sheila firing Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. We're gonna talk about the future, who goes, who stays. Um, but yeah, not gonna lie, I didn't think she had the kahunas to pull the trigger. And you know what? She pulled the trigger. So you got to credit Sheila for pulling the trigger. And pretty much, this was her best move yet. And we're gonna see if her next move is her best move. Everybody talking about head coaches. Well, we need to address general managers first. That's the important position. Well, Cleveland hired their coach before general manager, which I didn't like that. Her first move should be firing a senior advisor, and then her second move should be then, maybe a senior advisor board. Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, Jim Caldwell, they make a decision. They hire a coach. That's pretty much how it should go. And that's just my opinion on things. But let's get into it. Let's talk some football. And eventually, hopefully sooner than later, I had a podcast. We'll be able to listen without being on screen. So give me 1 minute and we are going to start. We got One Pride Nation. You ain't got to put your camera on because I got the on. I'm too lazy to get on camera today.
All right.
I'm not looking bad on camera. It's just I'm too lazy. So, but yeah, man. I mean, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So all the links in the description. You can follow me at Goodfellas Sports TV on YouTube 2.0, Goodfellas Sports 2.0. And other than that, man, appreciate everybody for tapping in. We got Tay West in the building, salute. We got GG in the building, salute. We got Jalen Bradford in the building, salute. He says, no, we still trouble because she got robbed. I mean, at the end of the day, he could be gone too. Toon Squad, salute. Is Kenny leaving? That's a good question. We'll get to it. Malachi, salute. I mean, at this point, I know this might be not be a popular opinion, but Kenny Galladay got to leave and let Stafford stay. And that's not. And I don't see Stafford leaving though. I can see him leaving, DeAndre, but Mark, salute. I can see him leaving, but still depends where the Lions lay at. We got some contingency quarterbacks, but we'll kind of get there. But we got Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia fired. That's the best news we heard in years. But really, I mean, you look at who she gonna replace him with. I mean, I think that's the big question. But what you think about her firing in One Pride Nation, and tell them where they can find you at.
So what I think about, I mean, good. I mean,
tell them where they can find you at first, though.
Yeah. So I have an Instagram and Twitter. Both of them are One Pride Nation 2. Both of them are called One Pride Nation 2, and of course the channel. So yeah, the YouTube channel One Pride Nation, and then on Twitter and Instagram One Pride Nation, and then add the 2 at the end.
All right, cool. So I mean, what you think about them getting the boot?
They had to go. They just had to go. I mean, and I heard people talking like they should keep Bob. I'm like, no. First off, he hired Patricia. Second, you took Jared Davis over Tre'Davious White. You took Tease Tabor over Alvin Kamara. You took A'Shawn Robinson, which I know some people liked him. I really didn't. Taylor Decker can't run block. Jelani Tavai, Will Harris. You trade up in the second round of Jeff Carrion? Nah, and Patricia, that's easy. I mean, he just did nothing right.
I mean, at all. I mean, it didn't seem like it seemed like he had a better rapport, Bob Quinn, with Jim Caldwell, with the players, and Terrell Austin. None of his players staying this sick.
No. You mentioned recently, they signed Quantre a year later. They traded him for nothing.
And he balling over there too.
They trade him for a 5th round pick, and I'm pretty sure we use that 5th round pick to draft Jason Huntley, who never even played a snap.
Then you got what's the other one? I mean, you could just keep going on in his blunders, but Glover Quinn never really took a snap. Got rid of him.
Never played him.
He was playing at that time under Caldwell and Austin. He was like a top 5 safety, dude.
2017, he did so good, and then 2018, and Patricia was gone, just like that. Like you didn't like.
I mean, you could go. I mean, you could just. I'm not even. I can pull up the screenshot, but we can keep going. I mean, Taylor Decker. I mean, we can look at the Decker. Decker playing good, but
he is. But you can't run to the left side. You can't run next to the left tackle.
And what draft he was in?
Decker was a 2016.
Yep,
that was his Hopkins first draft.
And that might have been his best draft, just off my
the third one they took Glasgow, but they didn't re-sign him. Fourth,
he over there in Denver. In Denver. So they took. Did hold on. Oh, they could Tyreek Hill win this draft too.
Yeah. And the thing is, with Glasgow, you replace him for Big V. What has he done?
Been injured. We don't know. I mean, they took Decker over Keanu Neal, Ryan Kelly, the center, which we didn't give center. Will Fuller, who just got popped for Peds, so his season probably over with. Other than that, Kenny Clark, who went to Green Bay. This other dude that's from Cleveland, wasn't that Emmanuel Ogaba?
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
Like Ogba, I think it is. Yeah.
Xavier Howard went in that draft. Chris Jones went in that draft in the second round.
Chris Jones, man.
He went in the second though. So Hunter Henry, Miles Jack. Hey, this might be one of the best second rounds. I think Sterling Shepard pretty good. He just ain't never had no quarterback.
That's
Reggie Ragland. And then this the Tripper thing right here. In the second round, between Alshon Robinson pick, Derrick Henry went right before him, and then Michael Thomas went right after him.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Deion Jones, the linebacker, he had a pick 6 yesterday. He went 5 picks after Alshon Robinson. Cody Whitehair, the guard, he is a Pro Bowler. This was a good second round. This might be one of the better second rounds you find.
Yeah,
but
Alshon.
And then the whole thing is Kenyon Drake went the third round. The whole thing is this. The guy that come in here, he got to have a proven track record as GM that know how to draft. That's the number one thing. Same thing with the Pistons.
Yeah, no, he needs to be able to draft. That's the main thing. Because especially in the second round. You know who a sleeper? You ain't gonna like it when I say his name. Tom Coughlin. Oh man.
For GM. He can look at what he did with the Jaguars. Only thing bad he did was not get a quarterback. Had the Jaguars got a quarterback, they would have been a dynasty, bro.
They probably would be. The thing is, the players would hate him. The players would hate him.
But if you just actually with the GM, you have a day-to-day, but he can draft though. For sure, They did a great job. They did a great job in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Just take a look at that team. They drafted Miles Jack.
Yeah.
Obviously Jalen Ramsey wasn't hard. They had a lot of guys over there they drafted, dude. It's just that he didn't really connect well with the younger players. So that'd be the issue. But if his shot was just a pick, and then they had like a Lawan just to deal with the day-to-day personnel, that'd be the perfect thing for him.
Yeah, because they had Dave Caldwell. So what was he doing? He just got fired yesterday.
They had 17 rookies playing when they played us. That playing, not just like on the roster, but playing.
I remember that. That was crazy.
But they did a hell of a. If they just Blake Bortles was their biggest flaw. I'm trying to look at this draft because the Bears would be beating on Aaron Rodgers if they would have took Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, they would win the division every year.
There wouldn't be no hope.
I mean,
wouldn't be no hope
that
at all.
Defense, it's crazy. We're so glad he messed that up because even if they took Watson, they would be guaranteed at least 11-5
every year.
Yeah,
and he kind of messed up Watson's career because there really ain't no hope down there with the Texans right now. They are our biggest competitors for Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah,
go ahead.
They need GM.
Cleveland took a head coach before our GM.
Yeah. The thing that might be our problem is Jacksonville's actually like a really attractive spot for a general manager. The owner gives you lots of time, They have all those draft picks. 2 in the first round, 2 in the second round.
One of his heirs is running it because remember he died, Dave McNair.
Yeah.
So somebody, I mean, the draft Blake Bortles went. Let's look at the quarterbacks that went after him. I mean, they ain't really won, to be honest. It was just a draft where Johnny Manziel was the next quarterback took him. That's a joke. Teddy Bridgewater was the next quarterback. Derek Carr, he went in the second round. Yeah. I think we can agree Derek Carr and Teddy Bridgewater better than Blake Bortles.
Oh, yeah.
Just look at the quarterbacks that went. Jimmy Garoppolo went in that draft.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, let's keep going. Let me see if I see any other quarterbacks.
The thing is, they didn't want to resign anybody
because they was unhappy.
Yeah,
it wasn't because the owner was cheap.
Happy was they want to get paid.
Tom Savage, I think because the quarterback position. If they had the quarterback position, I think they would have hired. They would have re-signed people. They would have won the Super Bowl. So he would have sold so much. What happened to Zach Mettenberger? Jesus, he was a bum. I thought he'd be pretty good. I thought he'd be pretty good in coming in. But I mean, when you look at it, to be honest, that's the only issue was the quarterback. You look at the guys out there replaced by Quinn. I think everybody wish list is either Tony Dungy or Louis Riddick.
Yeah, I've heard Louis Riddick. Yeah, Riddick.
Tony Dungy, Jim Caldwell can come be a GM. That wouldn't really hurt him. I mean. Shit, maybe, this is a pipe dream. Maybe Stafford retired, he could be a GM. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't, I mean, he know football. I mean,
I would think, yeah.
He said, I'm going to keep going. Austin Nicholas says that, what up, though? Dan Orlovsky said, we need to get rid of Stafford. That's more for Stafford than the organization. I mean, when you talk about getting rid of Stafford, who do you replace him with?
Yeah, there's.
I mean, you had to go to Jameis Winston route. Jimmy Garoppolo gonna get cut next year. Nick Foles might be available. Carson Wentz might be available. Sam Darnold might be available. Dwayne Haskins is available for literally nothing. I mean, there are some options out there, though.
I know people might mention Darnold. The thing is, he's been put in a terrible situation. Adam Gase is by far the worst coach in the league.
He's the coach in the Lions.
By far.
People forget he used to coach in the Lions. He just sold his house last year.
Yeah, I mean, but by far, I don't know how much of that's on Darnold. Because Adam Gase is the worst coach in the league.
I disagree. I think Bruce Arians is the worst coach in the league.
Bruce Arians, I mean, I would say the thing with Adam is he never takes accountability for anything. It's always someone else's fault.
What about Bruce Arians? Perhaps blaming the GOAT for everything.
He kind of does the same thing too, but at least they're 7-5 compared to 0-11.
I mean, then again, you thinking like if you ain't ask him to come in and be what Stafford was or better. You just, if you can't get a quarterback in the draft, you feel that can play right away. You just asking him to come here to be the bridge, you know what I'm saying, and lose games. I mean, I think Jameis deserves an apology because Tom Brady doing the exact same shit that he was doing.
Yeah, he's throwing picks.
Because Bruce Arians don't know how to. He don't leave nobody in to protect. He don't chip. He don't leave. He's sending 5 receivers out there. If it's 2 tight ends, a back, that's his problem. He don't know how to throw. He don't know how to run the ball, throw the screens, and throw the short stuff. He want to throw down the field. You can't throw down the field if you don't have 5 guys that's gonna block. Yeah. But Jalen, what's going on? Mark said, imagine the Lions drafting Weddle from Alabama, just as long as it ain't the quarterback, because I don't think he that good. Just cool and Vine, salute. I'm kind of behind. Daniel says, director of personnel, Mike Borgenzi. I don't really know who he is, but I mean, if you're talking about GM first, I got to get somebody. Look here, if it ain't Louis Riddick, then I got to get somebody from Pittsburgh or Baltimore.
Yeah.
Because think about New England for a minute. They never drafted well in New England.
Yeah. I really never thought about that until you mentioned it.
Somebody else mentioned it to me, or I heard somebody. Think about New England for a minute. What's their best draft picks in the last few years? Other than Devin McCourty, Jamie Collins, I think they drafted. They don't have a lot of good draft picks. They found Trey Flowers. But if you're talking about top of the draft, one year they took the dude out of Florida, Marcus Easley. He legitimately produced nothing. They don't do a great job at drafting.
And-
Their best draft pick in the last probably 4 or 5 years was probably Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy Garoppolo. Like most of their guys, they get them from like Talib, they didn't draft them. Reeves, they didn't draft them. Stephon Gilmore, they didn't draft them. Jason McCourty, they didn't draft them. A lot of they guys, Calvin Noy, they got them from here. They didn't draft them.
It's
they
just
do good
crazy how they can get guys off the streets and turn them into Pro Bowlers.
Because they don't ask them to do nothing they can't do.
And that's what Patricia would do here, and that clearly.
It's like a system. It's like having a system. Like maybe you wash the dishes or you clean the house, and you got a system where you can do it fast. When I was younger, I used to wash dishes, and I had a system. Like once you got a system, he know exactly what he's looking for.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why they got depth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Patricia never had that system.
No,
Bill Belichick could take Calvin Noy. He was a bum here, and he asked him just to do whatever he did, and he was successful at it.
And the thing with Patricia was, if he came here thinking, okay, we're gonna rebuild this team, you know what? That I would have been fine with that. But the problem is, they said take the team to the next level, like get the team from like 9-7 to like 11-5. That never
5-11. Oh, you talking about you want to get to 11-5, and then I mean, you just look at this. We're gonna focus on Bob before we get to Patricia. I mean, what was his best draft? Was it the first one?
I mean, it's definitely not the second one. The third one was decent, but the problem is Kerryon's holding that one back. And Kerryon's actually good, but he has lost a step. He looks like he's 30 when he's only like 24. He really looks like he's. But last week he actually did pretty good besides the fumble. I mean, Tracy Walker, he's decent. 2019, it can't be that because Jelani Tavai, Will Harris. This year,
2020. What you said? 2018 might have been his best. Frank Ragnow.
Yeah, Ragnow. Walker, I think, actually played good in another system. Hopefully,
I mean, yeah, he's a good player. Just they don't play him full time.
Yeah, they play.
That's a fact.
I think last week I saw Will Harris was played more snaps, and I'm like,
yeah, that definitely got to be his best draft. Because the first 3 picks was great.
Yeah. Hawkinson saving the 2019 one.
And they ain't even allow him to do everything he can do.
But
Terrell Crosby, his first 4 picks was great.
Oh, yeah. That's how he was in the 2018 one, yeah. The 2018 was actually pretty good. 2019, Tavai and Will Harris, and Austin Bryant. That just killed that one. 2020, well, Okuda.
Man, it's going to take some time, though. You better hope he's more, not Morris Claiborne and not D. Milliner, but it's going to take some time.
But the thing is, you like to see flashes. Like, I get it was going to take time, but we haven't seen any flashes of greatness, nothing. All we do is see him get beat 50 yards down the field.
Yeah, ain't got no pass rush either.
That's the thing, too. Well, they signed more blitzes this year, but still not the greatest.
And you look at Aurarie, he getting beat because ain't no pass rush.
No, but
sometimes he don't get beat a lot.
He was a 5th round pick though. That was a good pick.
He had a second. I had a 2nd round grade on him though.
Yeah, I thought he was going in the 3rd. Yeah, when we got him in the 5th, I'm like, this is going to be a solid pick. 2019 draft ain't bad because Travis Fulgham becoming a Pro Bowler somewhere else. Yeah, that's what it usually is somewhere else.
Yeah, his 2018 draft was his best for sure. Yeah. Had to be because in 17 was Davis, Tabor. Galladay will save that draft. Reeves Maven, I don't even know if he's still here. Michael Roberts retired. Agnew had a good time, but he ain't the same. And nobody else to really think of in his first draft. I mean, Decker, Robinson, Glasgow gone. Killebrew just hanging on just because they like him. Joe Dow, ain't no that's legitimately.
Especially that 2017 one. That's where it could have been. And in the 4th round, I forgot who they took. But you could have took George Kittle.
Jalen Reeves Maven.
Oh, Reeves Maven. So Reeves Maven over George Kittle. What a draft pick that was.
And then what was the year that this past year, what's the other dude that went to I forget the dude that's playing really good in like the 5th or 6th round. He came from Utah State or something like that.
Huntley?
I forget. He a pass rusher, but don't forget John Panisi playing well. He ran somebody down the other day, dude.
Yeah,
he's pretty athletic.
He looks good for a 6th round pick.
They got that one right for sure. Let's get back to the chat.
He seems to do better than later rounds than he does in the.
Galladay should have had a contract. I mean, at this point, you talk about we get to Galladay for sure. But shout out to Just Cool and Vine. Big 7 Gaming. He said we're gonna lose the next 5 games. Should be in line for a quarterback.
I don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you ain't historically watched the Lions.
Maybe Lance. That's it.
Yeah, I mean they gonna do some stuff you don't expect them to do. Malachi Bradley say y'all sleep on carry on. He just need more touches. He done.
No,
he done with that brace on.
He looks very slow.
Yeah, he can't hit the whole. Swift looked good as shit though when he played. He should have been fired just for getting him a concussion in practice. Who get a concussion in practice in week? Was that team?
I don't even know how that happens. It just shows. And I think a lot of the injuries, I don't think it's because the players are injury prone. I think he worked them too hard in practice.
Yeah, running heels and gassers.
He changed the what's it called? The after last year, I can't remember what they call it. Strength and conditioning.
Yeah, shout out to the dude from Dallas. Shout out to the guy from Dallas that lost his life. That's crazy. You could be in great shape and just be stressed and get a heart attack. But go ahead.
The new GM has to draft well. They have to draft well.
That's the only thing. You draft well, you get free agents. I mean, or trade for them. Calais Campbell, Malik Jackson, all came to Jacksonville. AJ, what's the other dude name? Is it AJ Boye came there? They had a squad. Tom Coughlin and the other guy did the one that got fired. They did an amazing job drafting. Yeah. You know, just like you got if you ask me, a quarterback can save an entire draft. You can have shitty picks. Like my whole thing with Patricia, not Patricia, but Bob Quinn. Legitimately, we can say this about the last couple of GMs, but him in particular, they could have traded all their picks and moved up and took and consolidated their pick and took 3 guys instead of 7 or 8 guys. They really could have consolidated all these picks.
Yeah.
And moved up and got one guy and get the sure thing. You could have.
He never traded up. He always traded down. And when we needed him to trade down, he didn't trade down. But in the middle rounds, he always liked to trade down, it feels like.
My whole thing is he could have took all them, like 70% of those picks and just moved up and got the short thing in round 1. But DeWine, salute. Don Juan, my bad. Marvin Lewis for head coach. His coaching with experience, which is what we need, and his coach that won with a terrible franchise, he took them to the playoffs 6 times and had. Yeah, I mean, we get to head coach, but really you got to get a GM. I'm with it because you know one thing, he gonna have a great defense. He historically has a great front 4 and have a great back end. That's like the bridge between Mayhew and Bob Quinn. Mayhew was a DB, but he didn't believe in taking DBs early. He took them late, and Bob Quinn believed in taking them early. But Big 7 game and said Ozzie Newsome, I'm down for him, but he might be more of a he might still want to do it. They kind of pushed him out of Baltimore. You know, I give him money. He definitely got respect.
Because you're already paying Bob Quinn, and then you're gonna pay him lots of money.
They got money to burn. But I know. But I mean, or you could bring him on. You could bring him on as an advisor.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I just don't think they're gonna do it.
He said, Daniel say if it is a scouting person from Baltimore or Kansas City, I don't want them. What's wrong with Baltimore? They draft well. I would definitely want somebody from that organization. I can see why you see Kansas City. Because I mean, I take somebody from Kansas City as long as it ain't an offensive coach. Because historically, Andy Reid don't run the ball, and we see with Matt Nagy, he allergic to running the ball. So I'm good on offensive coaches, but I like the enemy. But the only problem with Reid coaches, they don't run the ball.
Yeah, they don't.
He said Joe Horsted, the director of college scouting. I mean, yeah, you can get a guy that done the job before too.
That's what I would want.
I mean, you look at the guys. I mean, Louis Riddick talked well on TV. What's the other dude that was on TV? That's with John Gruden. What's the dude name?
Oh, I think
Mike Mayock.
Yeah, Mike Mayock. That was.
They doing pretty good drafting over there.
Yeah, because they've been scouting for so much, they can see what good talent is. Yeah,
I mean, Louis Riddick, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Think about Dan Orlovsky. You might laugh, but I mean, you know, he might have a clue. He know what he's talking about on TV.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to do is they're going to hire a GM, and then they're going to say the new GM Hire a coach. Hire a coach.
Igor, salute from Russia. Salute. We got a Russian Lion fan. Appreciate it.
Ooh.
Ellen Bro say resign to Galladay draft land. I don't think I'm gonna get to Galladay. People want to get there.
Yeah.
But if we talking about GMs, I mean Louis Riddick there, and then you talk about guys like Ozzie Newsome. I mean, Bill Parcells. You have to really pay him to come out of there. The first guys that I would call would be all old guys. Dungy, Parcells, Newsome, and Jimmy Johnson. They'll be the four, and Coward. They'll be the 5 guys I call first.
Yeah.
I call them old. Go ahead.
I just feel like they got to stop getting GMs that are literally learning on the job.
I mean, who the last one they had? That's been the last. Acute Lewan. That's been the last 4. Millen, Mayhew, Lewan, and Bob Quinn. It's time to get somebody that done it, and that's the 5 calls I would make, and then I would go from there. You know, if somehow the Cowboys caught William Clay, I would hire him up on the spot. He done a great job drafting there. And are there situations where they cut? Let's say let's say Sean McVay gets fired, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in that situation, do you hire him and then hire GM? In that situation, I think I would.
Yeah, I would have to.
Yeah, that's the only situation. If a guy like him, let's say Mike Tomlin get fired. I mean, John Harbaugh, somebody like that, Andy Reid slip and get fired. I think you have to get those. Bill Belichick just become available. I mean, I think those are guys you really got to do. But if you talk about just organizations, I'm saying Pittsburgh, Baltimore is probably the top 2 I'm looking at.
Yeah.
But if not, I'll take Louis Riddick. I would. He's done it before. I think
just need a guy with experience.
Yeah, he got experience. I think he was with the Chiefs. I mean, what's the dude that got cut from the Jaguars? They still got a good team. Think about it for a minute. The guy that didn't start, Luke Luton, he was a good quarterback.
Yeah, Luton, yeah. I think they drafted him in the 6th round.
Gardner Minshew, good quarterback.
Yeah, I think there's so many fields, though.
Yeah, Robinson, good running back, undrafted from Rockford, Illinois.
Yeah. Could have drafted him instead of Jason Huntley.
Yep. DJ Shark, good receiver. Keelan Cole, good receiver. Allen Robinson, when he's good receiver. Allen Hurns, when he was healthy, good receiver. Yeah. They got a solid line. Defensively, they still ain't no slouch.
Yeah, I think Doug Marrone needs to go, though. I do.
I think he got fired, didn't he?
No, it was just Dave Caldwell. Marrone's still there.
But
I think he needs to go.
Yeah, I think he will. But if you think about him, you're like, Caldwell, he can be on the list. I mean, you could look back at Jim Caldwell, Louis Riddick. You can look at players that used to Robert Porcher. Is he any good as far as they like him dabbling? But it got to be somebody with experience for me. Even if Marvin Lewis say, "Hey, I don't want to coach no more," I can be the GM.
Yeah, I would say so.
But one thing, getting Marvin Lewis here, he gonna have a good staff though.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, I would think. Yeah, as long as he can get the guys.
Who'll be the defensive coordinator because he gonna get fired? It's probably be Mike Zimmer.
Yeah,
he might get fired. I mean, people saying what's the other? Not Chris. Is it Chris Spielman?
Yeah,
Rick Spielman is his brother. I mean,
Rick. Yeah, Rick.
Rick is his brother, but Chris Spielman. I mean, I can see it. But guys, I don't want anybody from New England, anybody from Washington. That's pretty much where I draw the line at. That's it. But honestly, I'm cool with Marvin. I'm cool as far as GM. I'm cool with Louis Riddick. I'm cool with anybody that had experience. But my list is all old heads other than Louis Riddick. It's Bill Parcells, Jimmy Johnson, Bill Cowher, Ozzie Newsome. Those probably my top of the list. Louis Riddick. Those are guys I would probably be like, yeah, I would go with.
Yeah, and honestly, a first-time coach too. I don't know if I would want that either.
I mean, but that's true. We can get into coaching. I mean, just strictly.
I do like Saleh. I do.
He's from here, but my whole thing is, just because you're a great coordinator don't mean you're gonna be a great coach though.
Yeah, that's the one thing though is the coordinators, like even if out even like a college head coach. I mean, Matt,
you want to start with college? If you go with college, I think Nick Saban can regain some. I think Nick Saban can. I think I could see Nick Saban coming back doing a good job. If you go Nick Saban, Lincoln Riley, Urban Myers. Jeez, you know who the guy they should have got? The Carolina guy, Matt Rule was the guy. He's a good coach.
Yeah, I like him.
Michigan should have got him.
He's doing really good, and McCaffrey not even has been playing.
They had a losing record with him playing. Check that out.
Yeah, Colin. Yeah, they did.
So you just look at just talking about coaches, somebody that managed personalities and managed the team. That's it. Brian Flores had no experience. He was a college player that had an injury and he caught on the coaching staff. He had no experience as a coordinator, but he know how to manage personalities.
Yeah, and that's the one guy I go to. I just see Flores in Miami. I'm like, wow.
Mike Vrabel.
Quinn, you could have had that.
Mike Vrabel.
You Mike Vrabel too. I don't think Mike Vrabel. It really seemed like they never even considered him. I don't even know if they interviewed him.
Don't think so. And then another really good coach, Indianapolis coach. What's his name? Frank Weiss.
Frank, yeah,
he's a great coach.
It seemed like he was the reason they won in Philly.
Yeah, don't it seem like it now?
Those Peterson has been Doug Peterson.
About, you look at the coaches like the Robert Sly dude, whatever his name is from 49ers. I like him.
Yeah.
If Sean McVay is available, easily he probably get the job fast. Josh McDaniels don't want to leave New England, but I think he's dangerous. I think he's gonna learn from his mistakes. To be honest,
I would hope.
Yeah, he definitely would. Other than that, who else you got out there? Eric Bieniemy, he another guy a lot of people want. You're gonna have to pry him from Houston clutches.
Yeah, I'm just worried that he doesn't call plays. That's the one thing I look at is he does not call plays. Same thing with Josh Gaddis. He didn't call plays in Alabama, and look how that's turned out.
Joe Judge ain't never called a play in his life other than special teams.
Yeah,
and he got a great defense over there. And that team, they don't beat themselves. They just
I really like the job he has done.
Him and Brian Flores, and they kind of those militant guys. So that you kind of want to go for like that type of guy that can manage personalities, manage teams.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about Bieniemy calling plays, just knowing how can he kind of lead men. Can he lead these guys? But easily one of those guys. But I think Marvin Lewis is a guy that a lot of people is kind of pointing to with, what he did with Cincinnati. And I think now people are starting to see his worth.
Yeah. I just think that towards the end, it just kind of like, I don't know, just like
the biggest mistake. Think about it. Their biggest mistake was, and I'm not saying he a bad quarterback, was Andy Dalton. Yeah. Really?
And the owner, Mike Brown, he never spent money. Never.
He only spent money when they like kept AJ Green unhappy.
Yeah.
Sheila needs an advisor too. Yeah. Tom Gores, that's the greatest thing that he did was getting somebody because he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Toon Squad. Hey, go ahead. You there? Okay, go ahead.
With this one, I don't but if anyway with experience as a GM, they wouldn't be out there. Sometimes guys just overstay their welcome, or not really overstay their welcome. It just kind of like gets old, and they kind of like eventually like, I don't know, because a first time head coach, a first time gentleman, they're pretty much learning on the job. That's what it seemed like with Patricia. It seemed like this year it seemed like he was finally starting to not learn on the job. I just delegating. That's going to be a first time head coach or a general manager.
You can look at Peyton Manning. I'll give him a call.
Yeah, I don't think he knows.
As far as a general manager, I think he can coach if he want. I don't think he want to spend as much time as he spent game planning this shit. Probably not. But another guy for coach is the guy that won a national championship as LSU play caller. He with Carolina, Joe Brady. Yeah. Obviously he can put a game plan together.
That's a quick jump though, from 2019 being a college offense coordinator, 2020 NFL offensive coordinator, then 2021 NFL head coach. That's like, I don't know if he's ready.
I mean, yeah. I mean, also, you can take a chance on a guy like him and groom Braden Coombs.
Yeah, I like Coombs. That was one of the one things Patricia did right.
Probably wasn't even him. And then, I mean, also the play caller for Tennessee, what's his name? I forget
Arthur
his name.
Smith, I think.
Yeah, whatever his name is. He another guy. But I'm kind of feeling the special teams thing as far as with John Harbaugh and Joe Judge. I'm kind of feeling that, but I don't know. I mean, obviously, Braden Coombs got probably one of the better special teams. You just keep thinking as far as like teams. I mean, you can go Seattle, but then again, have they really drafted well?
No, that's the one thing. So it's crazy how they still keep winning. They don't draft well like at all.
Quarterback.
Like they got Metcalf. That's about it in like the last like 3 years.
Yeah, Lockett.
Yeah, that was like I think that was like 2016. But yeah.
But who else you got out there? I'm just thinking off the.
I would think like the major teams like Pittsburgh, Baltimore.
Yeah. San Francisco.
Yeah,
they done an amazing job. I wouldn't take Mayhew back. You can ask that question all you want to. No, sir. Want him back? He over there. Let me get to the comments. We need a mobile quarterback. I mean, yeah. I guess but then again,
help the running game.
Yeah, but then again, all the quarterbacks that's coming out mobile, right? Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and what's the other kid from BYU?
I think his name's I can't remember his first name, but last name Wilson.
Yeah, and then you got Ellen Bro said get rid of Stafford, draft Wilson. I mean, that's easier. That's easier said than done. Yeah, because you can draft one of those. How do you get them? You literally got to give up.
You got to lose out that you got.
You got to give up this year and next year, and then you got to give up guys like Swift. I mean, it's just too much you got to give up, to be honest. But I mean, if you get high enough, you'll end up one of those guys.
At this point, I'm wishing Tyler Gurley did get into the end zone. Or didn't get into the end zone.
Yeah, he said you treat this like KC, keep Stafford. I mean, obviously, yeah, that's how they could have did it this year.
Yeah.
You draft Herbert, this is the most attractive job out there.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good pick in it first. I mean, it depends on who there. You can have the pick 6, and what I say, 4 quarterbacks, and all 4 can go in front of you.
Yeah, right now they're sitting at 9. But if Philly wins tonight, they'll go to 8.
They're playing
But Seattle. That's going to be a loss. So.
Like, I mean, y'all say Alex Smith and Mahomes. They could have did that this year.
They should.
Look at this year.
The problem is keeping Quinn. He had to get a guy that'll let him win right now, and obviously that did not happen. Okuda, he wasn't a win now guy.
It wasn't a win now position.
You might as well.
It wasn't a win now position. Exactly. That's what made a ton of sense. Ignorant said, I love my Lions. He said, I'm literally crying when Stafford leaves. He was the face of the face. I think before he got here, Calvin was the face, and then kind of him and Sue, and then once they left, he became the face. But I mean, this is the continue on the head coach. It depends. You just in a position where right now you ain't in a position to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they had really good 3 came out last year. Then what you look at this year? I mean, you're gonna have to move up.
And the thing with that is, if you get rid of Stafford this offseason, I didn't think it was this much. It's $19 million dead cap for next season.
Well, they said he had no more guarantee, or maybe that's all the money they promised him.
I know. I think that might be the signing bonus.
Oh,
I think that's the signing bonus. So
yeah.
we can't catch a break. $19 million on top of the cap already going down next season.
Big 7 game and said we need 3 or 4 starters. I mean, you're gonna get some starters back this year. You're gonna get a better Okuda. You're gonna get a better Julian Cora. Then you got to keep Romeo Cora because he could be leaving. And Logan Stenberg can be a starter eventually. So I mean, you're gonna end up at least getting a quarterback that's gonna be ready to play next year.
You would hope.
He said first draft was the best. Galladay. I don't think Galladay was the first draft. Wasn't he like the second?
No, yeah, he was a second.
Let me double check that. So yeah.
Mike said, "Can you join?" Mike.
Oh yeah. I sent him a link. Tell him I sent him a link. I sent it on Twitter. Tell him check his Twitter. I sent it like 40 minutes ago.
Okay.
Honestly, I
Okay.
don't even think Bevel would be a bad head coach if he had this guy. The sports legend, Sportscastr, he says, "What's up, guys? Salute." He said, "No, all we got to do is get rid of Stafford." I mean, at this point, you get rid of Stafford. We'll get there. We'll get there with Stafford. Will Harris is trash. Yep, like we said. A corner with the third pick. I mean, and he didn't have a return history neither. Deion Sanders had a return history when he came into the league.
Yeah, that's what instant impact.
Stafford get to throw past the lead receivers. He always underthrowing the ball. Yeah, Mahomes be dropping in the bucket. He underthrew a couple last today, but Tyreek Hill just caught him. Nobody saw George Kittle's being as good. Well, we do know passing, excuse me, that Iowa is all tight end U. Curtis Weaver, who that? But salute. He said I want to see a court. Yeah, that's Ohio State got injured
Yes,
this
he's
year.
still hurt.
Yeah, he done for the year.
He's done for the year.
Yeah, he been done. He said Ellen Bro said you gotta look at some of the quarterback prospects. There's some good. Well, yeah, okay. I ain't really looked into it. I ain't really been into college football this year, so real talk. The one I love, Nancy. Yeah, he a baller, athletic as hell too. This team seems to like Darrell Bevel.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, been around the block. He said carry on a solid blocker receiver back. That's all. He said laugh out
second round
loud.
pick for receiving.
TZ said that. He said AJ Boyle, my cousin, at salute. Yeah, he with Denver now, I think. Jacksonville just traded all their talent. He says yeah, he on.
Okay.
He enjoying. He said Toon Squad said I noticed too that Darrell Bevel got positive uplifting energy. Yeah. Patricia got that. I don't got my coffee energy when I come in. I've been to slapped his ass. I'd have called some Detroit, so my hood niggas come up and jump his ass. They'd have been mad. I'd have called. He'd have got beat up saying what he said to Darius Slay and Ashawn Robinson.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Salute to Mike. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hey, thanks for letting me on. Talk some Detroit Lions.
Yeah, we kind of went through the GM thing. We had like the coaching thing.
Yeah, man. Who's your coach that you want?
I'm thinking more GM first. All the old heads. What's Bill Cowher, Jim Caldwell, Jimmy Johnson. I already know they're not gonna answer. Ozzie Newsome. But if you had to push me, I'll probably go Louis Riddick and Marvin Lewis to be the coach. Riddick to be the GM.
Yeah, Louis Riddick is intriguing to me. I think he's got that no-take BS approach. I kind of like that idea of having a guy individually here who's not going to take no shit from nobody. And I think that's what we need here in Detroit. We need somebody that's just not going to hire people's friends and no one's safe, not even Stafford.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of like thinking like if you do trade Stafford or he retire, I think because he sold his house, he might be retiring. Then you kind of in a situation where you would like Fitzmagic, Jameis Winston, which we all owe him an apology because Tom Brady doing the same thing. Jimmy Garoppolo, he gonna get cut next year. Who else we got? So a few other guys out there as well too. Daniel Jones might be out there. Dwayne Haskins, Sam Darnold, excuse me. So there'll be some bridge guys there that they can get if Stafford just somehow retire. I mean, it's not guaranteed they're gonna get somebody in the draft though for sure to, at the quarterback position that we can kind of lean on for a long term. This was their moment this year to take a Herbert, even move up for Burrows. I wouldn't have been mad. Or Tua, I'm still not sold on Tua, but it would have been a year. This would have been a very attractive job. So, it's just to the point where, as far as you're looking at the coaching, you just want the best possible. I think you want experience at this point because the last few coaches you had, other than Caldwell, Marinelli, Swartz, they ain't had no experience. Steve Mariucci had experience, but he was trash. If you're talking about the best coaches they had that I can remember, it would have been Caldwell and Gary Moeller, but they cut him. He was an interim coach. They ended up firing him. He went like 7-2, 7-4, because he used to coach at Michigan. So, they gotta get this one right.
Yeah, they definitely got to get this one right. No doubt about it. It's another intriguing person is Raheem Morris from what's going on at the Atlanta Falcons. He's done a really good job with that team, taking over as interim head coach over there, winning a lot of football games. And when it comes to Jameis Winston, I talked about him last year as well. I think he would have been a great person to pick up, but we missed out on that opportunity as well. And I think if Stafford did retire or get traded, I wouldn't mind having Jameis Winston on the team to at least back up or bridge if they decided to draft a young quarterback early in the draft.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just trying to think about the other teams as guys out there. Obviously, people like Rex Ryan, but then again, he too defense and not enough offense. So, I mean, that was kind of his downfall when you look at it. You know, my not list for quarterback for head coaching is Jay Gruden. I don't want Jay Gruden at all.
Oh no,
no way, man! I don't want him either.
top of the list. That's like the one guy that I was like just say straight up no to. Some people put Kellen Moore out there. I just think he's too young. Byron Leftwich too young.
Yep.
Like the Lions and the Michigan missed out on Matt Rule. He would have been the remedy for both of those. If you talk about college guys, I'm at the point where I take Urban Myers. I kiss his ass for him to come to Michigan or to Detroit Lions. I would take Urban Myers. I might be in the minority.
No, I had him on a list of individuals I'd like to look up as well as Urban Meyer. I just think he would have that command authority. I think we need to have an individual that's going to command. We haven't had that in a long
so that's
time.
like your Mike. That's like your Mike Tomlinson, your Bill. But you need somebody that's a leader of men. So I can see Raheem Morris doing. They might end up keeping Raheem down there though.
They might.
He's done such a good job. Yeah, they might keep him. But if you look at some head coaches that failed the first time they're head coach, but they did great the second time, there's plenty of those out there. Look at Seattle Seahawks. Their head coach failed the first time. Doing great now, Pete Carroll is. Yeah,
him. I mean, John Gruden failed, but he ran with somebody else people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, really, some college guys. Lincoln Riley, I don't know how he would do as far as defense. He kind of reminded me of Steve Spurrier when he came in the league as far as, he didn't care what they did defensively. He was worried about offense. So, I
don't know if we need a guy like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think, even at Oklahoma, same thing with Bob Stoops. He never figured out that, to compete with the SEC, you had to play defense. And, that's something that he never figured out. What happened to Jimbo Fisher? Texas A&M is just looking like the Bermuda Triangle for coaches. He was excellent at Florida State and kind of, I think they kind of wish they kind of apologized because they was a great fit. So, I think Jimbo Fisher would have a good chance. But as far we need leaders of men at the head coaching position. I think somebody like Caldwell, Raheem Morris is kind of a little bit more fiery than him, but I'm cool with him. But I think Marvin Lewis, is my guy because I know he's gonna come in and what he did in Cincinnati, kind of like Jameis Winston. I think Marvin Lewis would be my guy. I think he'd be my guy. I think he know exactly what he need on defense. You know what I'm saying? He know exactly. He kind of like Bill Belichick, him, Rex Ryan, a few other defensive guys that they know exactly, the type of player. One thing you're gonna know with him, you're gonna have a good defense. And also, we don't consider that he was in a tough conference too.
Yeah.
Because there was Baltimore and Pittsburgh. You put the Lions in the AFC East. Matt Patricia's still here. You see, Chicago not in position to get a quarterback. Minnesota, everybody about to get fired. They don't have a quarterback now or the future. So really, Aaron Rodgers is one nudge away from this division being open. So I think Marvin Lewis, this would be the easiest division that he had.
Yeah, and I thought the NFC North was pretty good. Second place team is a losing record. It's crazy.
I think if they hired Marvin Lewis, it would be interesting to see what the fans think. I do like Robert Salah. I was just watching him today, his intensity and fire, and was listening to him speak. I like that leader of men mentality, intensity, but not too hardcore.
Who could have got this job? Who could have got this job? If he would have counted his wishes a little bit earlier, he could have did a beeline. The dude from Michigan State, Mark D'Antonio, whatever his damn name is. He was a good coach about 3 or 4 years ago. He could have had this job. Not sure he would have did good in the pros, but he another guy. And people talk about Jim. I'm cool. I'm good on Jim.
Okay. What about Jim Harbaugh?
Him. That's what I meant. I want him paying my. I want to trust him paying my light bill. I want to trust him coaching the little league. Nothing. I'm good on Jim. I don't want no Jim Harbaugh.
The thing with Harbaugh too is he would be the GM too.
I'm good on that. I don't want nothing Harbaugh. Nothing. I don't want Jim Harbaugh to be my cable provider. I don't want him to fix my car. I'm ashamed to wear my Michigan gear. I've never been ashamed to wear Michigan gear.
You know, it's interesting is they're saying if they fire if they fire the Chicago head coach, that he could go to Chicago and be their coach for Jim Harbaugh.
Cool. I would be happy to see that. Matt Nagy come from that Andy Reid tree. He don't know nothing about running the ball. But James, excuse me, he said just join who y'all liking for Jim. I'll take Louis Riddick or any of the old heads I named.
Yeah, I think he's a hot commodity right now, Louis Riddick. I do like that. I'd like to take, if they decide to go the route of, going the young route, maybe someone from the Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs, a team that's successful. The Steelers. I was just going to say that. Yeah, someone that's been good at drafting talent. You got to draft well. And we got 5 draft picks. So you got to hit a bullseye at all 5 because we're in a world of hurt right now with this lack of talent on this team.
But I think they got some guys that in a regular system can do well. You know what I'm saying? I think when you get Julian back, he can help out. You get Okuda another year. They're gonna have some guys that just didn't have the coaching that's gonna plug in and be pretty good next year, in my opinion. I think they got their 2 corners for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I know a lot of people keep saying that Okuda is a bust. That's not the case. I do not believe Jeffrey Okuda is a bust. I think he's a rookie. It's going to take a little bit of time. People expect him to be, a stud right off the bat. It's not the case. And just like you were saying, this defense under Matt Patricia, the scheme was just trash. I mean, when you got no one rushing the passer, how do you expect your secondary to cover when they're just sitting there?
No stunting, no blitzing, no linebackers. They just rushing like 4-on-5 and 3-on-5.
Yeah, it was a trash scheme. And I actually have a video dropping tomorrow about watch and see what Corey Undlin does without Matt Patricia. See if things change. Because I think
they will.
They'll change. Yep.
I think you'll see.
Playoff talk.
Not playoff talk. I just want to see. I want to see a change because I believe that Matt Patricia was a net negative on this whole team, specifically the defense. Just the scheme was so bad. Russian 3, playing that relaxed defense you don't want to see at the end of the games. And I think even I was listening to Daryl Bevel today, and it seems like he goes, "I want to bring the fun back into the Lions facility." Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but it sounds like it was bad there with Matt Patricia.
Yeah, man, it do, bro.
From the way he said it, it seems like when Patricia was here, the players were having no fun. That's what I felt from it when he said it.
And then they overworking them, and then they getting hurt. But Greg, people said we still make the play. Man, I ain't even talk about the playoffs.
Yeah,
so, no.
Okay.
3-1 close.
Get a first down here, man.
You can't lie. What players you see out of here after this season? All right, we can get to the player talk. Big contracts probably gonna be here, so you need to look at Flowers, Collins, those type of guys gonna be here next year. Coleman, but to be honest, I mean, all your pass catchers might be gone next year as far as your receivers, as far as the guys that contributed.
Yeah, you could see Marvin Jones gone, Kenny Galladay possibly. I think they do re-sign Marvin Hall. I think that'd be a good re-signing, but I can see
they would have to.
I mean, because next year you just come back with Cephas.
Yeah,
that's all we got right now. Besides Geronimo Allison, who decided to skip out on the season and opt out. But I think you're going to see a whole different wide receiver core. And Jared Davis, I think that's over in Detroit.
Yeah, I think he had to Pittsburgh.
He's done.
Now he had to Pittsburgh, and watch he be a solid player. I guarantee you.
I could see it.
I know that's gonna happen, but when you look at Galladay, I think it's no point of bringing him back. To be honest, I mean, if you bring Stafford back, you trying to do a remix, a rebuild. I just look at it. I just think he deserved to go somewhere and get his flowers. That's just my thing. If you bring him back, cool. You know what I'm saying? But I just think it's to the point where he probably gonna walk.
Yeah.
I can see him walking, especially if you're in a rebuild mode.
Turn your mic up a little bit. You kind of low.
Okay, sorry about that.
There you go.
If you're in a rebuild mode, you really need to consider the finances that you got and allocate those resources to more the defensive side of the ball and getting more talent. If you start throwing 18 million at one guy in a rebuild mode, it's going to be a hard time to kind of refresh this roster.
I agree, but then again, if you get a rookie, then it won't be bad. By the time his contract up, he'd be done. But I agree. I mean, I just think you look at what the Bengals did. They drafted T. Higgins a couple years ago. They drafted Tyler Boyd. Receivers are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
they are. They're absolutely a dime a dozen. I think you can find them in the later rounds. You don't have to draft one in the first round. Deebo Samuel was not a first-round draft pick. DK Metcalf, straight beast. You can find wide receivers. What they need to do early in this draft, if they have a chance to get a franchise quarterback, do that. Or defensive line or my position, linebacker position, you really need to overhaul this position because right now we have not had a good linebacker since DeAndre Levy, and that's facts. And they really need to make this defense. I think you get wide receivers in later rounds. Go ahead and draft the important positions and let's rebuild this roster.
I'm at the point, take the best available. If it's a guard, a center, I think Quentin Nelson then kind of really changed the way people look at guards because he's amazing in Indianapolis. So I'm like, get the best guy available. But you can find receivers in the middle. Tyler Boyd wasn't a first-round pick. What's the other dude? Was Juju Smith was a second-round pick. The dude, the whole Steeler core, other than Chase Claypool, he was a second-round pick, right?
Yeah, he would. Yeah, and even if you look at, I know Justin Jefferson was a first-round draft pick, but he was taken way after many other wide receivers, and it's such a deep receiver draft. You can find guys that not necessarily have to be high up there that can contribute and do
Adam
well
Thielen,
for a roster.
He was a middle. He was a later round. Well, after the first. DJ Shark was a second-round pick. I mean, it's a ton of receivers you can find later in the draft, but yeah, I think linebackers kind of been naked for a long time. Sheesh. I mean, my favorite middle linebacker played for the Vikings, Eric Kendricks, and they got him late first, early second. So you can find good interior linebackers later. I think what's the other dude that played for Seattle? I like him too.
I believe Levante David as well is going to be a free agent. They could look at him.
He ain't going nowhere.
I love him. I'm in love with him.
Even later.
I ain't getting rid of him. He too fast.
Hey, one can dream. One can dream.
Yeah. John Harbaugh be available. Obviously they 6-4. COVID outbreak. He another guy. Hey, look. If John Harbaugh available, Sean McVay, look here, dude. I'm like, fuck a GM. I'm signing him right now. Ray Zone, salute. What's going on, my brother?
Yeah. That's absolutely.
Look here. I'm going to tell you this. Straight up and down. Sean McVay, Sean Payton become available. John Harbaugh become available. Urban Myers. They're my picks. Bill Belichick, I don't care. I'm giving them the bag.
Yeah, if Bill Belichick came available, that'd be the only Patriot one I'd look at.
I would never start a GoFundMe. I'll start a GoFundMe to pay him.
Yeah, man. That'd be GoFund Detroit.
You ain't lying, bro. I think you get money from everywhere.
Yeah.
Sheila ain't got to pull out her pocketbook for nothing.
I think it was
Yeah. Pull them out. Malachi say, don't get why people call you negative and just tell the truth. Some Lion fans being optimistic and they can't handle the truth. Yeah, it is what it is. I used to be the optimistic Lion fan before the internet and social media.
Bobby.
I used to read the paper. You said what? Bobby Wagner? I don't know what he's saying, but I think he meant Bobby Wagner. But yeah, I just tell it how it is. I've been that same optimistic Lion fan for the whole 90s. Yeah. But James Williams say we watching you from shout out to Canada. I'm right next to Canada.
Yeah, they're all the way from Canada. Yeah, when it comes to being optimistic, I think you could be optimistic, but you also got to be real and not blow smoke.
With the cap going down, maybe they can't afford it.
Yeah, I forgot the cap going down next year. That'll be one of the rare years it do go down. But only way you get picks for Kenny Galladay if you do what they did with Yannick Ngakoue and he signs a franchise tender and you flip him. But I wouldn't be mad if they signed him. Don't get me twisted. If they kept him, I'm not mad. I ain't tripping.
Yeah. That's not the biggest worry.
No, because eventually Trey Flowers, his contract coming up. I mean, eventually he probably don't have no more guaranteed money. The way Bob Quinn structured contracts, I will say, he ain't really tied to none of these guys. I just read Dewan said, I just read something on Twitter that shed light to the dumpster fire Quinn Patricia was, said not a former player came to the defense of them. No, of course not.
When you go tell you took a picture with Odell Beckham Jr., yeah, you're really going to get respect.
He said, James Holyfield said, we will draft a backup running back or draft. I mean, I'm not mad. I mean, they could have got Zach Moss and paired him this year with but really none of the rookie running backs. Hey, none of the rookie running backs that got drafted early doing much, are they?
Not really, no.
Jonathan Taylor, he kind of lost his job to Naheem Hines a little bit, but I mean, it might be a situation where, you get a guy that kind of match DeAndre Swift. So, he said Big 7 game and the Steelers draft pretty well. Yeah, all the time. You know, they traded for Minka Fitzpatrick. That was a great gamble.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mika Fitzpatrick is a straight beast. The Steelers, how they run their organization is really, really high-powered and straight. Yeah,
it was worth giving up that first this year because he done got like a couple pick sixes this year, picks. He says Louis Riddick once said he would take Dwayne Haskins. Saying Dwayne Haskins not a bad quarterback. That's the thing about it. It's just Dan Snyder like black quarterbacks. It's just the guys that he bring in don't like them. I'm not mad. I'm not saying Dwayne Haskins a bust. I mean, he might get that Josh Rosen treatment though, for sure. I don't think Josh Rosen a bad quarterback. He's just unfortunate. It just shows you that sometimes it ain't even color. It's just that you just in a bad position. He said Robert Salah is a Michigan native, grew up being a Lions fan. He would be one of those most chased coaches that might come. Yeah, I mean, him and Eric Bieniemy passed. They passed it being, they got passed up on last year. So I ain't knocking it, but I don't think Jim Caldwell need to be a coach again. Let me say that. I think he best kind of being an advisor or general manager. Yeah, that's Eric Bieniemy, Rayzone, you talking about. He definitely probably be in Houston next year.
I think they have to.
Go ahead. Yeah, he's gonna be in Houston next year. I mean, it depends. A lot of people don't like living in Houston.
Draft picks.
You said what? Next year? You said next year we only got 5 draft picks?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just a situation where but you can flip guys. You can flip guys and get picks. Mm-hmm. You can flip guys and get picks. You can. I mean, what if the guy don't like Tracy Walker? What if he don't like Justin Coleman? What if they don't like Jeff Okuda? I mean, what if he don't? He flipped Jamie Collins for a late pick. I mean, somebody like Tavai that we don't like. I mean, he can get picks. He probably can flip Jesse James to get a late round pick. I mean, Carry-On can probably bring a pick back. So they can get picks. I'm not really worried with them having 5 picks. You said what?
Has to be in next year too.
You said who? Who you say? One Pride. Malachi said, I don't think Trey Lance is good. I mean, I don't know. I just heard about him this year.
The quarterback. What sucks about him is what sucks about the quarterbacks that are not being shown a lot is because they're not being shown a lot. It's hard to really tell. You wanted to see.
He only played one game this year.
Yeah, I know. That's the issue.
So it might be a good thing or bad. It might be a good thing. He might slide.
Yep.
I mean, you can take a chance on quarterback and all because guess what? They're not getting the Stafford or the Sam Bradford contracts no more.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing quarterbacks go more now than they have before the Sam Bradford and Stafford contracts.
Yeah. I mean, look at Josh Rosen. They drafted him 1 year and kicked him on curve for Kyler Murray.
The Rosen.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it got to be called. Like, you don't have to be married to a quarterback.
Robinson was undrafted.
Yeah, man. Anytime you get drafted early and you're gone, it's Rosen right there.
And then you got a situation where, don't forget, Gardner Minshew might be the quarterback next year if they're desperate. I don't think he's a bad quarterback at all. I think Gardner Minshew pretty good. So he can be a bridge guy that might be available. Jimmy Garoppolo is another guy. PJ Fleck, who is that? I don't know. Chris Billman for sure. No New England guy. Sheila, New England don't draft well. Bill Belichick is the brain. What about somebody from Bill's? Which Bill? Because I know you ain't talking about Belichick. Tree. Talking about
Yeah, we don't want no Bill Belichick treatment.
You ain't lying. You gotta be talking about Barcel or something. Oh, Ray's on subscribe to your channel, One Part Nation. Appreciate it. Hey, check out Micro Mike channel too. Tony Dungy as GM and Ben and me as head coach of Knicks. I'll take Nick Saban a savage. I swear to God, look up this story. I read it. In Miami, you talking about somebody that's probably gonna be like Patricia. I take that back. What I said about Nick Saban. One guy had like a seizure when he was in Miami or something like that. Nick Saban walked over him and went to the locker room or went to his office. So I mean, that's something that Patricia do.
The team.
That'd be a good setup by 313 there. Tony Dungy, GM, Bieniemy, Saban. Oh, I'd take that.
But so I mean, I don't know about Nick Saban, dude. He another guy. I think he good in Tuscaloosa where he at. Now I would love to have him in Amazing Blue.
Yeah.
I think he meant Belichick. He said PJ Fleck would be following the footsteps of Matt Rule did. Who was PJ Fleck? Who he coached for? Anybody know?
I don't know. I don't know who PJ Fleck is.
See, when I was a kid, I used to follow college football like crackhead follow crack. I don't follow it like I used to no more. My friends that live in Alabama, they love. That's all they talk about. They ain't got the lottery and they ain't got pro sports.
I really wanted Mike.
Mike, he the dude from Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Minnesota coach. Or the Indiana coach, he on fire right now. He said Herman Edwards. Yeah, he down there in Arizona State. I think Herman Edwards don't want to come with nowhere cold. He said Riddick is a huge McDaniels. I ain't mad. McDaniels, I think he's a good coach. I think he'll learn from his mistakes. But he gonna be the New England. He gonna be the successor to Bill Belichick for sure. He said even though Northwestern lost to Michigan State, I like that coach. I forget his name. May Glover Quinn the GM. I mean, I ain't opposed to, you think about Robert Porcher, guys like that. I'm not opposed to that. I even said Dan Orlovsky, and I don't even like Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, next year we have 5. Yeah.
They can get more picks next year. Hold on. We got a lot of comments. Man, if I miss your comment, man.
Yeah, we have to do something to get more.
They should have traded Marvin Jones, unless they're going to bring him back. They hate Patricia. Brent Stack say it was clear, but even Stafford can't throw him under bus as advocacy. Yeah, Stafford didn't like him. I heard they didn't have a good relationship at all.
It was toxic.
Man, he would have told me to stop sucking somebody's dick. He'd have been dead, straight up and down.
I know, man. I can't believe that.
Yeah,
the gall on him.
Yeah, he'd have been dead. Fuck that. I'm like, okay, you got it, man. Well, Lions coach Matt Patricia, he's been missing. Yeah, he'd been missing. Heartbreak Kid, Rockstar, Carry On Mike. I mean, I'm just mad when they got rid of Bo.
I think it's.
I like Bo. I like Bo Scarborough.
I didn't say anything. I think it might be a little delayed.
I think. Hey, come back and jump out and come back in. Yeah, that's what you do. Jump out and come back in. They will need 2 more running backs to carry on Adrian. Yeah, Adrian Peterson gone. He got to keep playing because he in the debt for sure. Barry Sanders, usually great players don't make great GMs, but I take Peyton Manning.
Oh, yeah,
Herman Morris GM. Yeah, oh yeah. Hey, this is a story about Peyton Manning in college. Look that shit up about what he did.
With his butt mooning people?
No, man. He dropped his scrotum on a girl's face and they paid to cover it up. I swear to God, that's a real allegedly. There we go. Allegedly. Yeah, that's a story that was out there. Now, I watched college football when he couldn't win a national championship and T. Martin came and won it. I still got the hat. Mr. Motown, he can't tackle. What I'm talking about? Can't tackle. There's a chance we see a very different team on Sunday. I mean, yeah, maybe rejuvenated. Who knows? Maybe we see the wild child from Jim Schwartz. We was out there doing dumb stuff under Jim Schwartz, catching cases, personal fouls. That team was uncontrollable.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you're going after Jim Harbaugh.
that shit was live, bro. Like I respect the Schwartz from that day forward, bro. Man,
that was an epic moment.
I was working at Ford Field security when Ndamukong Suh stepped on that man's arm.
Man, I miss Sue. I miss
Yeah, man, me too, dude. It wasn't nothing like when they said Sue. Man, I used to work there for like 2 or 3 years. That man, when Sue was, I was there when they made the playoffs and beat the San Diego Chargers at the time.
That was the greatest game I've ever watched. Hearing the crowd go scream playoffs.
Man, it was lit.
Oh man, I couldn't imagine.
That shit was lit. I remember this man's wife came up to me trying to grow me. She was drunk. I'll never forget that day. You your woman, dude. There's video on YouTube where Kelly Stafford is basically saying they're leaving Michigan because she probably going back home. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, that restriction about to be up because she can't get no money to fund people. So you can't have people losing their job and shutting their job down in the holiday season. They always laying people off during this time too. Marvin Tolbert said, I'm confused as why we are even caring about the Lions because we fans, fool.
Yeah.
Switch teams then. And I ain't mad at you. I had a lot of people that was around me that switched team. All of them were like above 35, 40. Steelers, Bears fan. I said, the Bears, man, you must be from 85. The Bears ain't won nothing in a while. You want your quarterback riding a bike? They could look, yo, if Jay Cutler played like half good, they would have won that game. He's riding a bike, bro. Jay Cutler, look, his wife left him because he didn't care.
I know he doesn't, man. He'd be smoking a cigarette, laid back, Jay Cutler.
Hey, he don't even care. I ain't even mad, man, at that, man. Hey, Jay, you a bitch. So he like one of them dudes you work with, and he laid. Hey, man, Jay, so going on. I ain't even mad at Cutler, man. Who cares what Kelly Stafford? Yeah, she always talking. She ain't even hot as she used to be neither. But shit, if I had like 4 kids, I wouldn't be either. Jim Animal, John Q, they have to start drafting speed at every. You getting? I agree. They got to start getting faster. Look at the Chiefs. They got a track team. He said Edward Berry the Forest only one straight. Man, we can't put that on Sheila right now after what she did. So Sheila, we got to call her Hamp. We got to call her Hamp. She ain't no Ford right now until she do some Ford shit.
Yep.
Thoughts on Lions trade for Sam Darnold? I ain't mad at it. I like it.
Yeah. It just depends on the compensation, but you throw him. He's a young guy. He had a lot of talent. Just you gotta understand that the Jets are just a crapshoot of a team.
Hey! We give you Stafford. You give us your first round pick, and we just take Darnold off your hands.
Probably.
Yeah, you got to delay, bro. I don't know if it's your internet or what, but Harbaugh said he's not leaving Michigan. Well, let me go load up my gun real quick. Jokingly.
Hey, he said he's not leaving Michigan, but Michigan said he's leaving Michigan.
I'm joking. Yeah. He said Fred Warner on the 49ers. Yeah, he another linebacker I like watching. He definitely a beast. Like, he one of the best. Darius Leonard got mad at Aaron Rodgers for saying that Fred Warner was the best linebacker he played.
Hey, what's going on, Noble Sports? Shout out to TA out there.
Yeah,
he talked about Fred Warner the other day, and he loves that guy.
He a beast. He said, I'm interested in Lions still because I'm born in Flint, raised in Holly, and the whole damn state tattooed on my side. So he can't do shit else. He got to go for them. The Lions need PJ Fleck. I'm not mad at it. Salute. Bevel got 2 new wedding rings to pay for. He's going hard. I ain't know he had hair, bro. He can grow hair. That's crazy. He said, Streetwise, I'm in Canada too. Man, I might have to move to Canada the way that, man, well, Donald Trump gone, so I ain't got to leave no more. I'd rather watch flag football than watch the Lions. I ain't mad at you. That's your prerogative. Marcus Willis, what's going on, bro? Marvin Tolbert, at this point, I ain't mad at. If you don't want to watch, you want to watch. I've been watching Lions every Sunday for my whole life. Marvin said, I love the sport. Can't stand. Well, I ain't mad at you. Can't stand the organization. The Lions have to expansion team roster. Now, that's on Bob Quinn, Martin Mayhew, and Matt Millen.
Yeah, the 3 clowns there really hurt this team. Trash draft.
Shout out to Darnell Yipsy. I heard y'all took that. Y'all took that L in the Turkey Classic. I heard Imani had 28 though. He say, I'm the Lions. I'm going D-line early. I ain't mad at the best available. I can't have faith in the same boss. She ain't the same boss though. I mean, I think when she said she wanted I'm gonna get on this comment. Hold on, I like this comment. I don't like this comment. Here we go. Matt Haynes said Sam Ellinger. I'd rather have that dude from Florida. What's his name? Task.
Trask, Kyle Trask.
Yeah. I'd rather have him. He said Dungy over. Man, Dungy ain't coaching no more, bro. Dungy comfortable on NBC, bro. He said the Force incompetent. Why should I believe in? I mean, hey, she a hemp. We ain't calling her Miss Force. She Miss Hemp.
What do you got else? They ain't selling the team.
Her husband probably in her ear. He probably know a little bit something about that. Jack Del Rio is close. I ain't mad at Jack. He been around the corner a minute. I like Jack.
Is it good?
Streetwise Television. You said what?
Is it good now?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yep. You on point.
All right.
He said, I wonder if we can get that one black GM that was with the Ravens. Oh, Ozzie Newsome. Yeah, I know his name. Yep.
He's actually still part of the Ravens right now.
I mean, come run a team, baby.
No, he could take. I think he's just like part-time, like helping out the GM. Man, he would be a fantastic pickup.
Yeah. We can get a GoFundMe for Ozzie Newsome. Let's find his Twitter. He probably he was a Hall of Fame NFL player too.
He'd be a Hall of Fame in Detroit just day one.
You ain't lying. Oh my God, his line sucks. He said we messed up for not drafting the quarterback the last 2 years. Now we got to possibly start with an unproven guy. We need to grab up Jameis Winston, Fitzpatrick, or go with our rookie. Look here, I'm good with Jim. I'm good with either one of them. I ain't no Sam Darnold fan, but I'll take him next year if Stafford gone. Maybe he do got some talent that I ain't seen.
Yeah.
Everybody, I don't know why Jameis Winston didn't start for New Orleans the last 2 weeks. He
because
of
the money,
5,000 yards. In Tampa Bay, they went 30 for 30 over there with interceptions. But Tom Brady's not doing a whole lot over there
because they paid all that money to keep the tight end. What's his name?
The running back.
No, the quarterback. They paid all. We call him because he a tight end in fantasy.
Yeah, Taysom Hill.
Yeah, so that's why they paid him all that money. So they got to start.
So they couldn't start the guy they're paying like $1 million.
Yeah, he said. Cryotopographer. Hopefully, I got that right. A lot of good GMs, head coaches, possibility, but as well, some ex-players ready to get into coaching too. They should be able to find long-term solution. I agree. We got so many comments, dude. This is crazy. I'm skipping some. Y'all can get mad at me. No salute. Sheesh, Louise. I was gonna watch the game, but I don't know. He said, Noble said, we just want to win. I don't care who they. Hire me, dude. I'll take half the salary. I'll get us there.
Hey, I'll do it for the salary I make right now for working. Get rid of some of these clowns in there and start a real organization.
Better than Quinn.
You ain't lying, dude. Like, what did Quinn ever tackle? Can you imagine Bob Quinn going out for a touchdown pass or tackling in the flats?
No, man. No.
I couldn't imagine it, bro. Just think about it. That's like seeing Jay-Z beat somebody up. Like, Jay-Z just look goofy. Could you really just think about it? Did you see Jay?
I met and talked to Bob Quinn. He seemed like a nice dude, but man.
Look. Can you imagine Jay-Z going up for a layup, bro? Think about Jay-Z going up for a layup, honestly. You can't picture it, bro. Imagine Bob Quinn tackling somebody in the flats. Get out of here. I can see Robert Goodell doing it before Bob Quinn. Hey, look, I can see Jimmy Johnson right now doing it, bro.
Oh man, yeah. Throw it at him.
If I get as old as Jimmy Johnson, just give me his hair.
I don't have hair, so I'll take it.
Hell yeah, Jimmy Johnson still got the hair. I don't know. He need to give me his plug, bro. I got hair, but when I get that, I want Jimmy Johnson here, bro. Okay, here go the only Bills Indiana Pacer fan. I swear to God, I only know. Like, you got a dude that's a Pacer and a Bills fan. What up, Renardo? I got lucky yesterday, bro. We sweeping the Pacers. Didn't we sweep the Pacers last year when Pride Nation? Or they beat us once, right?
I think they beat us once.
Yeah, we sweeping y'all for sure this year. Who y'all got? We got them. But they got some players coming. I don't think Sabonis gonna be ready yet. I'm gonna go live on Pistons tomorrow, y'all, for sure. I've been putting that off. Nick, salute. But y'all, tell them where they can find y'all. I gotta go. I got another live I gotta do. Don't you talk about Jay. Be honest. Obviously, just imagine seeing Jay-Z laying up a basketball. Tell me I'm lying, bro. And did y'all ever hear about the story how Big Pun and Fat Joe chased him for dissing him on wax? I swear go look that up. It's a real story. It's a Nas had put it in his Etherverse, but he took it out. But yeah, Bill, Fat Joe, and Big Pun chased him around a room.
Oh, I gotta see that. That's hilarious. I gotta hear about it. Big Pun,
bro. Like Big Pun used to be skinny, bro. It's Bob Quinn.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look up the Big Joe when he was skinny, bro. He had like some type of depression that he got that fat. That wasn't natural.
That was. I think I'm wrong. I may have seen that.
Yeah, he was skinny. You probably won't think it was him. Anybody doing some digging on Larry Lee? I don't know who Larry Lee is.
No.
Salah's head coach Rex Ryan got too much pride to be under anybody, bro.
Yeah.
He'll stay on ESPN.
Nick says Patricia was a great coach. Stafford sucks. Bench that and get Trubisky. Yeah, okay. That's like a Nick. That's probably Ghost of Tribe Shooter. I ain't seen him.
That's probably Matt Patricia himself.
So one of his burners, like.
But yeah, I gotta go. Tell them where they can find y'all.
Yeah, I do. I know about Big Pun Jalen. Back in the day, he died young. Him and Fat Joe back in the day. Yeah, I'm 35, like man. I'm not that young.
He remember when rap was rap, not this shit y'all listen to today.
Yes.
That man, the radio used to be. I mean, everything when radio used to be popping back in the day. I don't know. I don't even listen to it no more.
Late 90s, early 200s,
2000s. Yeah, they was. I mean, yeah, they was good too. I mean. I don't know. Every song sound like this. Honey, hootie, wiggity. I'm like, everybody singing, rapping. Like, get out of here.
The rap I enjoyed was Tupac, Biggie Smalls, that era of great. The old Snoop Dogg, I like that. I like 50 Cent in the beginning. Eminem in his earlier years. I love that stuff, man.
You ain't lying. Hey, I gotta go. Tell them where they can find you at One Pride Nation. Then you can call Michael Mike.
Yeah, so find me on Twitter and Instagram at One Pride Nation 2, and then YouTube, One Pride Nation.
Hey, so, man,
hold on real quick before you go, Mike. Let me ask you something. Somebody had One Pride Nation 1 already?
Or
you just said 2?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For the Instagram and Twitter too, because someone else took 1 or no. Someone else took just regular, so I had to put 2.
I figured that shit. Go ahead, Michael Mike.
Hey man, I'm on YouTube, Micro Mike. Also a partner of Chat Sports. If you know Chat Sports, just go ahead and find me on there.
For sure. All right. He says, did you like the Tyson joke? Hey, follow me. Go on Goodfellas Sports TV or go to Goodfellas Sports TV 2.0. I'm about to go live on it. Hey, I appreciate y'all. I had y'all on anytime, bro. Appreciate it.
All right.
Hey, no problem, man. Had a hell of a time.
No problem.
Yep.